Hello, Da Vinci. Welcome back to our history lesson for today. It's the 14th of the 1st, 2021. And our learning objective is, can I explain what order a biography is written in? So today we're going to be carrying on from yesterday's lesson, and we'll be looking at ordering events in a chronological order. So first, talk to you, Teddy. What is chronological order? So I just move myself out of the way. So what is chronological order? Talk to you, Teddy. Pause the video, have that discussion. So chronological order, we mentioned that chronological order was something where you've got the start point and an end point and it goes in order. So when we talked about Neil Armstrong, the chronological order of his life would be he was born, then he grew up, then he did this, then he did that, and then right at the end of his chronological order would be, right at the end of his timeline would be his death, sorry, when he was unfortunately died. That's going to be at the end, because we can't have him born and then died and then nothing and then what he did afterwards, because that wouldn't make sense. So it needs to make sure it's going in order. But to start off with first, we're going to be playing a little bit of a true and false game. So how I'm thinking this is going to work is we're always sat down, we're not moving around a lot. So I'm going to say that like one side is true and one side is false. So where you're at home, you can either run to one side of a room and then run to the other side of the room if you think it's true or false. You could sit down if you think it's false. You could jump up if you think it's true. That's up to you. I'm going to let you work that out about what you've got available for your space, but that's how we're going to play this game. So true or false, and it's all about Neil Armstrong's life. Okay, so Neil Armstrong was born in 1930. You need to think, are you going to go to a true, or are you going to go for false? Okay, so either move to the side of the room or you need to jump up and sit down, whatever you think. So true or false, Neil Armstrong was born in 1930. Well, the answer is true. Spot on. Okay, so the next one. From a very young age, Neil Armstrong had a passion for flying. Is that true or false? What do you think? Move yourself now. Well, the answer is true. So as a young child, he absolutely loved the idea of flying and he knew what he wanted to be when he grew up. Next one. By his 15th birthday, he had become a licensed pilot. So by his 15th birthday, he had a driving license or a flying license so that he could fly a plane. Is that true or false? What do you think? Well, the answer is it's false. It wasn't when he was 15 years old. It was when he was 16 years old, by his 16th birthday. Good try. Oh, if you got that right, well done. Right, Neil Armstrong served in the Korean War in 1950. Is that true or is that false? Well, once you've moved, the answer is going to be true. Well done if you got that one right. It's true. Neil Armstrong was in university when he then had to stop because of the Korean War in 1950. Neil Armstrong joined the space program in 1970. So Neil Armstrong joined the space program in 1970. What do we think? Is that true or false? What do we think? Well, it's going to be false in 1962. And the reason that it's false is because something happened before 1970 that's much more important. There's something that was the biggest thing that happened in his life happened just before 1970. So it must have been before. Neil Armstrong commanded the spacecraft named Diamond 8. True? False? Which one do we think? Move yourself now. Do you think the craft was called the Diamond 8? Well, it is false. It was called the Gemini 8. I might have tricked some of you there. It was a bit of a tricky one. Right, here we go. Neil Armstrong completed his degree in 1955. Was that true or false? We know that it was true when it was in 1950. He had to go to the Korean War. So did he complete his degree in 1955? Well, the answer is true. He went back and completed his degree in aeronautical engineering. Here we go. Neil Armstrong was the first man to set foot on the moon in 1979. True or false? In 1979, Neil Armstrong was the first man to set foot on the moon. Is that true or false? The answer is false. It was 1969. This is 10 years later. No, it was in 1969 when they put the man on the moon. It took 3 days to travel to the moon from Earth during the Apollo 11 mission. Is that true or false? Do we think? Well, that is true. It was true. It took 3 full days to get to the moon from Earth when they did the Apollo 11 mission. Neil Armstrong died on the 25th of August 2020. Is that true or false? Neil Armstrong died on August the 25th, 2020. Is that true or false? Well, that is false. He died on August the 25th, but it was in 2012. And one of the last one, well, that was the last one, sorry. Well done for joining in the game. Right, let's go back to our history slides now. Here we go. So, we're now going to discuss what a biography is, and we're going to pay close attention to the order that they're written in. So, a biography is a descriptive book based on somebody's life, a person's life. Now, this is a copy of a biography written by James R. Hansen, so we can see here, and it's based on the life of Neil Armstrong. Now, a biography is a book which somebody writes about somebody important, okay? So talk to you, Teddy. Why do you think people chose to write biographies? So if I chose to write a biography about somebody important, why would I choose to write that biography? Pause the video and have that discussion. So some of your ideas might have been, well, maybe it was a really important person. Maybe he did something fantastic. And you're right, maybe people needed to know about Neil Armstrong. They wanted to know more about the amazing things that he had done in his life. People may not have known that he was the first man on the moon and how he came to be the first man on the moon. And maybe people wanted to know about his life leading up to that. So that is one of the reasons why people might write a biography, to kind of explain that person's life all the way up to the point that they did something really special. So a biography is written in chronological order from the oldest key event to the newest key event that's taken place in somebody's life. It's similar to a timeline, but it's written out. So it's not just a short bullet point about what happened in 1930. It's a full pages about what happened when he was born, okay? So in today's lesson, we're going to be planning our very own biography, and it's going to be based on Neil Armstrong's life. We're going to be using that timeline that we created from last lesson to help us plan. So first, let's just do a recap of the key events that took place in Neil Armstrong's life. So this is the Challenge 3 one that I gave out yesterday, or the Challenge 2 one, I believe it was. And it can see you've got born in 1930, pilot's license in 1947, Korean War in 1950, aeronautical degree in 1955. And then these are the two that I swapped around. So he joined the space program in 1960, the first space flight in 1966 on the Gemini 8. He then walked on the moon in 1969, and then he died in 2012. So those were the key events that have taken part in his life. Okay, so I'm going to show you now on how to create your biography. So if you're a challenge 1, you need 3 pieces of A4 paper. And if you're challenge 2 and 3, I need you to get 5 pieces of A4 paper. And in tomorrow's lesson, we're going to begin by writing in some of the things. So let me show you what you need. Okay, Da Vinci, so this is what you're going to need. So challenge 1, you need 1, 2, 3 pieces of paper. Now all you're going to do is you put them all on top of one another, and you're just going to fold it in half. Okay? So once you've folded it in half, you're going to, there we go. We've got a nice straight line going right down the middle. And now I've got a small little booklet, okay? And what it's going to be is when I've got my booklet, I've now got my front cover page, and then I've got one inside page, another inside page, one more inside page and another page, and then I've got a double page here, And then again, I've got one page, another page, one page, another page, and the back page. So just by using 3 sheets of paper, I've made it into a small booklet. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Okay. Now, don't go anywhere for the video. I'm going to show what challenge 2 and 3 need to do. It's exactly the same, but then there's a task to do at the end of this video. So for challenge 2 and 3, it's exactly the same. All I'm asking you to do is from those 3 sheets of paper that we had, get 2 more sheets, put them at the back, and then just fold that in half. So you should have 5 sheets of A4 paper there, just folded down the side, nice and neatly. And then they're all going to sit inside one another, and then you're just going to open it up. And you've just got a couple more pages now to fill. Okay? So there's a challenge 1 and challenge 2 booklets there, either 3 pages or 5 pages of A4. Right. So let me show you what today's task is ready for tomorrow. Okay, so Da Vinci, you've got your booklet now, and we've said that you've got your front page. Now, this is the most important part, is the fact that, like a book, it opens out this way. So you've got your front cover, you've got your spine down the left-hand side, and as it opens out, it's opening outwards rather than it being the other way, and then it's at the back of the book. You don't want it that way around. You want to make sure that your book's the right way around, like a normal book, okay? Then what you're going to do is, this is what a good one looks like. We're going to design the front cover. So we're designing the front cover of this biography. So once you've got your 3 pieces of paper, you don't need to staple it or glue it or anything. If you've not got that at home, that's absolutely fine. I've got mine loose. I just need to make sure that I've got them in the right order. So what a good one looks like, I've written Neil Armstrong, like on this page here. I've written Neil Armstrong across the top, and I've just done a neat underline. You've all got a ruler and your pencil, so you should be able to do that. Neil Armstrong, making sure I've got a capital letter for each one of his names, because they are his names. It's a proper noun. Neil Armstrong at the top. I've then in the middle drawn a picture of Neil Armstrong, or I've got a picture here, Neil Armstrong, so him standing on the moon with the flag. And then right at the bottom, I've written by Mr. Watkiss. So you can put by and then your name in order for me to know that's your biography about Neil Armstrong. That's everything that you need to do for today, ready for tomorrow, so that we can get that biography going for Neil Armstrong. Thank you very much for coming to this lesson, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye, Da Vinci.